Bullet journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, it's finally time to start decorating the inside pages of this junk journal. And I created this one in a video for you guys previously. And then I also decided to add quite a bit to the spine. I added some embellishments and dangles and fabric and all that good stuff, and I did that in a separate video as well, so be sure and check those out. And now I'm just going to start decorating that very first signature on the outside. I had this really cute little shape here that I could use sort of as a title page, but I felt like it was a little too neat around the edges. You know, this is a junk journal after all. Not that it can't be, but I just wanted it to have more of a shabby chic look. And so if you're unfamiliar with my channel and my videos, when I use a glue stick to glue things, I always use a cutting board to do that because it helps me get all around the edges really, really well without sticking the glue on other things like the paper underneath it or the table or whatever and getting that all nasty and stuck to each other. And so the cutting board just really helps me do that. So this was a set of stamps for some mail, some happy mail that I got. And anytime I get happy mail with really pretty stamps, I save those. And so I decided to use those to just kind of decorate the corners. They're so cute and they're perfect because, you know, they're fruit. I think they're fruit. And they go perfectly well with this gardening floral theme that I have here. But there's only 3 of them, so I decided after I put those 3 down to use another little cut apart that I had. So I had this, you know, I have a bunch of 12 by 12 paper stacks, and they usually have some pages that have a bunch of cutaways or cut aparts, you know, where it's a 12 by 12 and it's got about 15 or 20 different shapes there that you can cut out for tags and labels and so forth. And so this one was actually circular and it just looks really pretty, I think, there. So I was deciding what I wanted to put on the title and what color. I knew I wanted some kind of green, and so I kept looking until I found the one I liked. And I'm going to go back over it with another green as well in a moment. But this is a Crayola Super Tip. And I'm just going to write growing herbs in Phoenix because I live in the Phoenix Metro, and what I have in my garden right now are all herbs except for I have some chard, which a friend of mine gave me, and so it's doing pretty well so far. And I'm just winging it right now. So in this junk journal, I'm going to be actually recording how you're supposed to be doing these things. And so I'm going back over it with a darker color green, which I'm using a Staedtler Tri-Plus fine liner to just outline it a little more. And I think that combination of greens looks really good with everything else that's on the page. Alright, now that that is all done, I decided I'd like to put a tag, or a tab on the end. Oh, but before I did that, I just wanted to fill up that space there underneath Phoenix. I thought there was a little too much space left. So I had some cut aparts that I had picked out, and I just used this little tray to put different things that I thought I might want to use in this junk journal. And I decided to make a tag. So I had 2 pieces, and I thought I would just take that one that's like a fake stamp and glue it on top of this, and it would make a really nice tag. That way it wouldn't be too thin, even though these are both cardstock pieces, but it would have a lot of depth, and I thought I might like that for the tag. And so I'm just gluing this piece on top. It was a little bit taller, and I did trim it, but I didn't show that on camera. I trimmed that after I got it on the page. And so now I'm ready to put it on there, and I thought I would go ahead and staple it this time because I have this really cute pink stapler that I hardly ever use. And I probably only needed to do 1 staple, but I did 2. And I thought it looked fine in this instance because the colors blended well enough with the staple. Later on, when I do one it stood out too much, but I'll show you that. So I wanted to use this little piece of paper. It was the bottom of a greeting card my husband gave me for one anniversary, but it wound up not working anywhere on the pages that I did today. And so these are, what I'm using right now is a cut apart that I want to make like a little place to slide a tag in. So I'm going to speed this part up really fast because I'm just using some double-sided tapes. It's some really good double-sided tape that I got from Dollar Tree. That Crafter's Corner, I think is what they call those craft supplies that they have now at Dollar Tree, and they're really good. I mean, most of them are pretty good. And so this is the best double-sided tape I've gotten anywhere. It's better than Terrifically Tacky tape to me. And so I had this tag that was a cut apart that was already set up that way, and I think it's perfect. So I got a couple of others. I thought I would put on this one planting seasons. So I'm going to be writing that. I'm doing my research right now because, again, like I said, I'm just winging it right now. I'm learning as I go with the herbs that I have, and all of them have survived except for the rosemary. And the rosemary was doing awesomely, better than everything else at first, but it did not make it, and everything else has. So here I'm going to be writing down planting seasons. I've done some research, but I've had a little bit of conflicting information, so I really want to dig a little bit deeper and be sure about when I think I should be doing these things. And so, yeah, so I'm just going to put some glue as always. I did flip the cutting board because I already have some wet glue that's covering most of the other side now, and so that way I've got some space where nothing's going to stick to the paper and ruin it. And so I did put a little bit of glue on the bottom, the surface that I was adhering it to as well, and that helps it just stick better. But again, for me, as long as I use a cutting board to get all those edges, I don't really have to worry about putting glue on the other surface as well, but you definitely get a very good bond when you do that. And so these are just strips. Gosh, stutter, Lucinda. These are some strips that were in what was full pages, but I cut out these little sections that were in this magazine that my husband and I get all the time in the mail from the Desert Botanical Gardens here in the Phoenix Metro. And they have some really, really good pictures. And since this page is talking about planting season, I thought this was a perfect picture to glue in there. And it's just showing someone with their hands planting some flowers. And so, yeah, I thought that would look really good right here. All right, now that that is on there really, really well, I remembered that there was one of these little strips that I cut out had something about gardens or gardening, and I thought that would look really good here. So I just kind of ripped it and measured, not really, but just saw if it was too big, if I needed to take a little piece of it. And I felt like the page was a little too neat, so I thought I would glue it on here diagonally. And it had a little strip of blue from when I cut it there, so I just trimmed that off. And now I'm going to put that on there. And I think I'm going to be happy with this page at that point. All right, that's enough, Lucy. It's stuck on there. Okay, so now on this little section, I'm going to write down what is in my garden. So it'll just kind of be my little inventory strip, at least for now, of what is currently in there. So what I currently have is basil and mint and oregano and chard. All right. And I'll add to that. I'll put something on the back at some point in time. I don't know what yet, but I felt like I want to use that for jotting that kind of thing down. And so now I'm just going to slide something in here underneath this card. So this was a card that I got for my birthday last year. One of my friends gave me. I just tore the back part off, and I thought I would slide something in there. I didn't like the way it looked when I slid it all the way through, and so I thought I'll just tape the end and go ahead and make it where I just have an opening on the right side. And then I decided this looks good. I'll put the washi tape all the way down to the very, very end and just trim it there at the top. I'm just rubbing it in well. There we go. And now I want to make a little tag there on the end, but it's sticking out a little too far. So I just kind of looked to see how far I wanted it to stick out. So I did a little snip there with the scissors to mark where to cut it. And so now I'm just going to use my paper trimmer and do that. And then I'm just going to fold, but not press down, so I won't have a line, a folded line in the center. Just fold at the end and then cut a little diagonal so that it would look like a tag on the end. And then I was just checking to make sure it went as far as I thought I needed it to. I just pushed it down a little bit more, and that worked. And now I just need to punch a hole in the center so that I can put something on the tag. I decided not to put anything on the end of the other tag, but I wanted something on here, so I just kind of folded it so I could find the center and punched a hole in there. And then what I'm going to put through here on my tag is a little piece of lace from a bra. Yes, so I made a bra mask. I made a mask out of a bra for COVID-19 for whenever I go out, and I'm going to post that tonight on my community tab. So you can check that out there on my YouTube page on my community tab. And yeah, I think that worked out perfectly. And so then this is a little handkerchief that I got from a thrift store about 2 years ago now, I think. And it was I got 3, I think. Yeah, I think I got 3. And they were in a section in the thrift store that was under the glass, under lock and key, which I never buy anything that's under lock and key at the thrift store because I usually figure it's too much, but it wasn't. I think it was just that it was fragile and they wanted to really protect it. And so I thought I would glue that in here. I thought it would be really pretty. I've been saving it for a project, I didn't know what, but I thought when the right time comes, I'll use it. And so I'm just going to use Mod Podge there on the base, and then I'll go back over it with Mod Podge to secure it down really well. And then I decided to leave just a little bit of it sticking out on the right, and I thought that would be really nice. And I think I've got it all glued down now. That's plenty of glue. And then once it dried, I actually used my hair dryer that I use when I'm drying paint and I don't want to wait. And so I just used the hair dryer to dry it. And then now I'm just going to go around the back and cut the excess. And that's just easier to me than trying to figure out exactly how much to cut it and then put it on something in glue, because I hate to find out or to discover that I cut it too short. And so this way I don't ever have to worry about that. And then there at the top, I decided right there on the corner, it was sticking up a little bit, and I thought, oh, I can put something. I could have just put some more glue, but I didn't want to wait for glue to dry. So I said, I'll just use a little strip of something. So I found something that was had this printed lace on it, and I thought I'll just staple that on there, which I did. But I used 2 staples, and I should have used 1 in this case, because to me those 2 staples stood out so much against this really pale pink paper, and I did not like the way that looked. But there's gold among the flowers in that card at the bottom, so I thought I'll put a gold sticker, because I knew I had some gold heart stickers, and I thought that would look perfect. And I think it does. I think it just really works on that page. All right, and that is everything, you guys. I'll do a little flip through and you can see how pretty it is. And I'm excited to go and learn some more and put down about the planting seasons and just some different things maybe on the tabs, on the tags on the back, and on the back of this sheet, I'll put some different notes about things that I'm learning about gardening here in the Phoenix area. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing really helps my channel a lot. Also, you can check out all my photos from my creative ventures and adventures at Organized Planner Chic on Instagram. And also I have 2 planner groups. The local one is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ, and there we meet in person once a month and have lots of planner fun. And right now we're meeting online through live videos, and because of COVID-19. And then the Facebook group for anyone around the world is called Organized Planner Chic crew, and there we do giveaways, and we try to post just about every day with, posts and lives and videos. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, happy planning!